G'day, this is Geoff Kirkwood, and today I'm talking about networking, or more specifically, building better business relationships through networking. You know, I've been involved in networking for probably 20 years, and I've been involved in business for well over 40 years. And one of the things I've observed is that most people don't really understand the concept of networking. I see people at networking meetings who run around collecting business cards as if there's a prize at the end of the night, or at the end of the luncheon, or end of the breakfast for the number of business cards collected. And yet, those same people will take them back to their office, they'll sit them on the desk for a week or two, then they'll move them to their credenza where they'll collect dust, and after about a month, they'll probably file them in the round filing bin. What a waste that was. So what I'd like to talk to you about, and what I'd like to suggest to you, is a plan to capitalise on your networking. You know, when I speak to business groups, and I do that in countries all around the world, most people will tell me they have a plan and a process for everything they do in their business. Well, almost everything. If I was to ask those same groups, what's the best way to build business, they will tell you networking. And yet when I ask them how many of them have a plan for their networking, very few will put their hands up. Now that simply doesn't make sense. So let me outline for you the plan that I use and that I know is successful. In fact, I built the world's biggest referral organisation in Australia simply using this plan. So firstly, when I go to a networking organisation, I will simply look at making 5 connections. That's all, 5. Doesn't matter how many people are there, but my connections will be meaningful connections with them. I'll spend 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe 5, engaging them in conversation, and I will ask them that fabulous 5-word question: how can I help you? My focus will be on them. Once I've spent a few minutes and engaged with them so they'll remember me, then I'll move on to the next person. Now that's my first step. Now either that evening or at the most the next day, I will send them a voicemail message. I use a program on my iPhone called Voice for Mail, and I will send them a personal message. G'day John, it was nice to meet you. Hello Sue, it was nice to meet you. And to their computer will come a message that says Geoff Kirkwood has a message for you, and there will be my voice playing for them. You know what most people do? They send them an email. Fabulous for conveying information, the most impersonal thing you can do for building a relationship. Then I'll get onto my send out card site and I'll send them a card. So within about 5 days, they've heard from me personally with all the intonation and inflection and warmth of my voice, and then they'll have a personalised card addressed to them. I know when they check their post office box which envelope they're going to open first. And it certainly won't be the window envelope, because we all know what they are. Then, about 7 days later, I will phone them. Now, in most cases, when people phone you after having met you at a networking meeting, what are they looking to do? They're looking to sell you something. Whereas my phone call is, hello John, hello Sue, did you get my card? And we're talking about something that connects with here, not with here. Inevitably the reaction will be, yeah, Geoff, that was great. Thank you so much. So suddenly we have started to build a human-to-human connection. And that conversation will end with me suggesting that we get together for a coffee where we can talk about how we can support each other. Notice the change here. Now we're talking about how we can help each other. The focus isn't just on them. And at that coffee meeting, we'll split the time because I'm in control of it, and we'll find out how we can help each other. After that, I will send them another card saying thank you for their time. Do you think that I might just have an edge on my competition who the very next day sent them a cold, impersonal email? Well, of course, the obvious answer is yes. Why does this work? 1, because it's a set, step-by-step process that I follow all the time. 2, because I'm connecting with them at a human, at a heart level. I mean, just imagine the scenario. think back, for some of you who are listening to this, to the first date you ever went on. It was a great date, you got on really well with the person you went out on the date with, so next morning you got on your computer and you sent them an email and said, hey, thanks for the date, had a great time. Yeah, right, I can hear you laughing now. You just simply wouldn't do it. Yet there you're looking at building a relationship. Businesses are no different, where you're looking to build a relationship to the point where people are happy to buy from you and will approach you to buy your product or service, not feel like you've been sold to. So if you currently don't have a process for following up when you're networking and you don't have a step-by-step plan, then could I suggest that maybe you ought to. If you'd like to know more, you can find all those details and more on the Referral Mastery CD on my website.